In today's video, I'm going to take a look at the stock market and then a quick look at gold. Um, we had an opportunity to possibly move down into a deeper correction here and complete a daily cycle low, but after today, after the results of the Georgia runoff, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So as far as I can tell, the runaway move is still intact. We're still in the second phase of the bubble. Um, I'm guessing once the NASDAQ composite gets above 13,000 here, then um, I think that's where we really start to get into the melt up phase. Um, at this point, I'm not really looking any more for another deeper correction. The correction was a one-day event. It did manage to push the 3-day RSI to oversold, and as I've pointed out before, in the advancing phase of an intermediate cycle, price doesn't stay oversold very long and before it starts to rally again, and that's exactly what happened here. Just a quick touch of oversold on the 3-day RSI, and now we're off to the races again. So I'm just watching 13,000, a move above that, and I think we probably unleash the melt-up phase and start heading towards that, my 17 to 18,000 target between now and March or April. And of course, this has given the banks an opportunity to attack the gold market, big contract dump in the pre-market, the usual stuff. But gold is, well, first off, we've got a major resistance zone here anyway. So, gold probably wasn't going to go through that on the first attempt anyway. So not surprising that we would get some kind of pullback there. I think it's probably exacerbated by a bigger attack than would have occurred normally. But anyway, we probably weren't going to go through that to begin with. So at this point, it's possible that gold is moving down into a half cycle low, but the same parameters apply. Gold is in the advancing phase of an intermediate cycle, so it's tending to stay overbought or get heavily overbought, and any move back down to oversold should spark another rally. So gold is already getting pretty close to being oversold as it is. So we should see, if we get another down day tomorrow or through the rest of the week, um, gold should turn and rally again pretty quickly once the oscillators get oversold. And a lot may just depend on what happens to the dollar in the short term. It's just every chance the dollar has had to put in a daily cycle low has met with failure. We've got a minor rally today, but nothing that looks convincing yet that would convince me that we're starting, a more sustained rally, something that might last 5 to 8 days before rolling over. We've had a lot of different opportunities for the currencies to give us a counter trend move, but so far none of them have panned out. And so if today's election news doesn't trigger anything, then the next potential spot would be at this technical zone. So I think that would give us our daily cycle low if this little rally that has started today, if this peters out as well, and we continue down on into the end of the week, then probably a retest of this last 3-year cycle low. I would think that would have to give us enough support to where we could get a bounce, and that would be where I would expect gold to take a longer breather, something, move down into a full daily cycle low at that point. If we if the dollar continues down and doesn't really give us any kind of significant bounce until we get down to this support zone, that would be the point at which I think you could get a more sustained sell-off in gold, something that runs 5 to 6, 7 days. That would give us our first daily cycle, though, and then we would start the advancing phase of the second daily cycle. So probably a lot's just going to depend on what happens here with the currencies. And I'll switch this over to the euro. You can see kind of in the same thing here with the euro. We're just kind of in no man's land. We're not really at any resistance. The resistance really comes up here at the 125-ish level. So hard to say at this point where this first daily cycle is going to roll over and give us a daily cycle low, but nothing yet. The euro just continues to rally, and the likely spot would be a test of that prior 3-year cycle high at about 125. So we'll just have to see how the rest of the day plays out, and then on into the weekend as to whether or not the currencies are going to continue down until they hit that technical support and resistance zones, and I think those would have a much better chance of giving us a counter trend move in the currencies. But keep in mind, this intermediate cycle in the euro is still very young. This is, we haven't even got the first daily cycle low yet. The euro is in a new bull market, so we should probably rally at least into the third daily cycle before the intermediate cycle tops. So should still have a long ways to go here in the before the euro rolls over and starts the next intermediate decline. And I really don't think gold is going to give us an intermediate top until the euro gives us an intermediate top. And like I said, that's probably we're only on the first daily cycle. My guess is it's going to take at least 3 daily cycles before the euro rolls over and starts the intermediate decline, which would give us an intermediate top in gold.